Well children, I have come to a new topic of life process, that is respiration, and I will also discuss about transportation in plants and animals. Before that, let me discuss about respiration. Now what do you mean by respiration? Now you see, respiration is the process of oxidation of organic compounds. What is the organic compound here? Glucose. So where does respiration take place? In our cell. Why does respiration take place? To release energy. So here I am getting two answers. Where does respiration take place? And why does respiration take place? So respiration generally takes place in our cell, in which glucose is oxidized. So I can also say that respiration is a catabolic process in which energy is released. So it is an exergonic process where energy is released. Now during respiration, you see the chemical bond of the organic molecule, that is the food or the glucose, is released by oxidative breakdown of respiratory substances. So some respiratory substances are present whose oxidative breakdown takes place. So where does the oxidative breakdown take place? In the food. Okay, in the organic bond, the chemical bonds are broken. Now what is the mechanism of respiration? You can see I have written one equation here, that is glucose molecule, which is a 6-carbon compound. So glucose molecule, in the presence of 6 molecule of oxygen, one glucose molecule in the presence of 6 molecule of oxygen produces 6 molecule of carbon dioxide, 6 molecule of water in the form of vapor, and 38 ATP. Now what does ATP stand for? ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate, which is the energy currency of the cell. So this is actually the mechanism of respiration. Okay. Now respiration has 4 major steps. Now what are the 4 major steps of respiration? First step is intake of oxygen from the environment, which is a physical process. Next come the stepwise oxidation of food and release of energy as ATP. These 2 and second and third steps, these are biochemical process which takes place in the cell. And the fourth point is the elimination of carbon dioxide. This is also a physical process. So intake of oxygen from the environment and elimination of carbon dioxide from the body to the environment, these 2 are physical process. Okay, here no enzymes are involved in this process, but this second and third points, these are biochemical steps where enzymes are involved in the steps. Now let me discuss about the first step of respiration, that is where does the first step take place? Means here I am talking about the first step of oxidation of food. So I will be telling you about oxidation of food. Now in oxidation of food, you see there involve 3 steps again: glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and terminal oxidation. These are the 3 steps of respiration, that is the oxidation of food. Now this oxidation of food takes place in the cytoplasm. What is the site of the respiration? That is the cytoplasm. Now what is the result of this first step of respiration? The result is breakdown of glucose to pyruvic acid, which is a 3-carbon compound. 4 ATP are formed and 2 ATP are utilized, and 2 molecules of pyruvic acid are formed. So these are the major results of the first step of respiration, that is the glycolysis. So children, you studied about the first step of respiration, that is glycolysis. Now what happened in glycolysis? So in the glycolysis process, glucose converts into pyruvic acid. Okay. Now this conversion of glucose into pyruvic acid, glycolysis step, glucose converts into pyruvic acid, it takes place in the cytoplasm. Now this pyruvic acid, what happened to the pyruvic acid? Now conversion of pyruvic acid may have 2 further steps. In the conditions are, first condition in the presence of oxygen and second condition is in the absence of oxygen. So in the presence of oxygen, the pyruvic acid, which is also known as pyruvate, which is a 3-carbon compound, it enters the mitochondria from the cytoplasm and starts the Krebs cycle. So Hans Krebs was the scientist after whose name the Krebs cycle is denoted. Krebs cycle may be also known as citric acid cycle. So the presence of oxygen, the pyruvic acid enters the mitochondria and Krebs cycle starts here. But what happens in case when their oxygen is absent? In this case, actually see, in the eukaryotic organism the glycolysis is followed by the Krebs cycle. But in case of prokaryotes, as they lack mitochondria, in that cases ethyl alcohol is produced because there is no mitochondria. So in the absence of oxygen, generally this process further takes place. So the pyruvic acid further breaks into ethyl alcohol. Okay, and in case of our muscle cells, when we are doing strenuous exercise in the deficiency of oxygen, in that cases our muscle cells may produce lactic acid. Okay, so lactic acid may also be produced. This is a 3-carbon compound. Okay, and you see, remember, during the production of lactic acid in our muscle cells, there is no carbon dioxide produced. But in case of anaerobic fermentation in anaerobes, ethanol is produced. Okay, when further pyruvic acid breaks in the cytoplasm. So the entire process of respiration in prokaryotes take place in the cytoplasm as they do not have mitochondria. So in that cases, ethanol or ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide is produced plus energy is produced. Now energy is only 2 ATP. Now here I am telling you about ATP. Now what do you mean by ATP? ATP stand for ATP. ATP stand for adenosine triphosphate. T for triphosphate. So ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. Okay. Now how is this ATP produced? Now when ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate, combined with one inorganic phosphate, ATP is produced. So ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate, combines with inorganic phosphate, okay, and ATP is produced, that is adenosine triphosphate. Clear? Now you see, I told you about the conversion steps of the pyruvic acid in 2 conditions. First is in the presence of oxygen and second is in the absence of oxygen. Next, the step is, that is the Krebs cycle that I told you. That Krebs cycle is pyruvic acid in presence of oxygen, pyruvic acid completely get oxidized in the cell in our mitochondria, and it completely breaks into carbon dioxide, water, and energy is released from the ATP. Okay, so for one glucose molecule, 2 Krebs cycles occur simultaneously. Remember, so for one glucose molecule, 2 Krebs cycles occurs simultaneously in aerobic organisms or even in our cell, that is our mitochondria. So first step you studied, that first step is the conversion of glucose into pyruvic acid, that is glycolysis, that takes place in the cytoplasm. Further, the pyruvic acid enters the mitochondria and Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle take place. Understood? So children, I told you about the mechanism of respiration, that is physical process, intake of oxygen from the environment. Second is stepwise oxidation of food. In this I have told you about, first is glycolysis, then come release of energy as ATP, that is the Krebs cycle and terminal oxidation. So Krebs cycle you know, which is also known as citric acid cycle, in which in the presence of oxygen in the mitochondria, pyruvic acid completely get oxidized into carbon dioxide, water vapor, and energy is released. In which form energy is released? ATP. So for one glucose molecule, 2 Krebs cycles are needed or occur simultaneously in aerobic organisms, including our body cells. Okay, I also told you about the anaerobic conditions or fermentation, where the anaerobic microorganisms or prokaryote, they break the pyruvic acid into ethyl alcohol. Okay, in case of our muscle cells, when we are deprived of oxygen during strenuous exercise, our muscle cells break into lactic acid, but no carbon dioxide is produced. Next come terminal oxidation. Now this is the third step of the respiration: glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and terminal oxidation. So what is terminal oxidation? Now in this process, some electron carrier molecules are there. Now electron carrier molecules are NAD and FAD. Now what does NAD stand for? NAD stand for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. The short form is NAD. So nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide is NAD, and FAD is flavine adenine dinucleotide. These are two electron carrier molecules. So these electron carrier molecules, they transfer the energized hydrogen ions along the transport chain. There is electron transport chain, which you will be studying in class 11 if you take biology. So there are electron transport chain. In this electron transport chain, the FAD and NAD, these electron carrier molecules, they transfer the energized hydrogen ion. Okay, now during this transfer of the energized hydrogen ion, the energy is released as ATP, and hydrogen ion is oxidized to form water. So this process is called terminal oxidation. So in terminal oxidation, water is formed, okay, because hydrogen is oxidized and ATP is produced. Now you can see in a nutshell, I have given the entire mechanism of the respiration. So glucose, which is a 6 carbon compound in the cytoplasm, by the process of glycolysis converts into pyruvic acid or pyruvate, which is a 3 carbon compound. Further, this 3 carbon compound or pyruvate, okay, in absence of oxygen in the yeast cell or any bacterial cell, prokaryotic cell, anaerobic organism cell, converts into ethanol or ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide plus energy. Now this ethanol is a 2 carbon compound. While in the case of muscle cells, during the lack of oxygen, when we are doing some strenuous exercise, lactic acid and energy is produced. Lactic acid is a 3 carbon compound. Remember, here ethanol 2 carbon compound, lactic acid 3 carbon compound. Third is in the presence of oxygen in our body cells. In mitochondria, the pyruvic acid further changes into ATP, that is energy, water vapor and carbon dioxide. So this is about respiration. Okay, next, so I told you about aerobic as well as anaerobic respiration. Now in plants, certain bacteria and fungus, respiration takes place only anaerobically. Okay, so this type of fungus or bacteria, they are known as anaerobe, and the process is known as fermentation. So fermentation is the anaerobic breakdown of carbohydrate into alcohol or organic acids. Okay, fruits and seeds also have anaerobic respiration. So you learn this. Even see in animal, some parasitic guard like tapeworm, they also show anaerobic respiration in our muscles. Children, now the next topic is about an activity which shows that during respiration carbon dioxide is released. Okay, so here is the setup that I have drawn. So the activity related to respiration. So what is the aim? To show that carbon dioxide is produced during respiration. And here we are comparing this reaction with one more setup, that is the fresh air also contains carbon dioxide, but in little amount than that of the exhaled air. So what is the procedure here? You can see very well that here you have to take 2 test tubes and label it as A and B. Here is the A test tube, this is the B test tube. and almost fill 3/4 of this both test tube with lime water. And this lime water should be freshly prepared. Okay. Now close the mouth of these test tubes with the help of rubber cork. And this rubber cork should have a hole in between so that you can see the pipes or the tubes are running through the rubber cork. Okay. Now insert a syringe or a fichkari. Fichkari, you know, use in Holi. So you can insert the fichkari in setup A, and here in the setup B you have to insert one small tube. Okay, capillary tube you can insert. And what you do eventually, you make the apparatus airtight. So for making it airtight, you can apply Vaseline. Okay, Vaseline can be used to make them airtight. Next, what do? You blow air into both of these test tubes separately. In this A setup, you have to just pump out this handle of the fichkari so that the fresh air enters through the, you have to handle this piston so that the air goes inside the lime water. Okay, and in the setup B, you have to blow the air from your mouth. So blow air through your mouth to the lime water. Okay, now in the setup A, you see, note down what happens in setup A and setup B. Now what do you observe after some time? You observe that lime water in setup A takes a longer time to turn milky, while in the test tube B, here the lime water turns milky very fast. Now what is the reason? So what can you conclude? The conclusion is fresh air also contains carbon dioxide but in lesser amount, while the breathe out air that we breathe out contain more amount of carbon dioxide, and hence the lime water turn milky very quickly. So this is the conclusion. Now what is the explanation behind this reaction? The explanation is when carbon dioxide passes through lime water, you can see I have written the carbon dioxide gaseous passes through the aqueous lime water, turns the lime water into calcium carbonate, which is a solid, and water is released, that is liquid. So this is the reaction or explanation for the reaction of respiration. You can also study fermentation of sugar solution or fruit juice. Now these activities given in your NCERT book, you can refer the book. And one more activity you can do, that is to study fermentation. Here it is aerobic respiration. Here in anaerobic you can do another activity about fermentation of sugar. So you can take some sugar solution or fruit juice and you can add some pinch of yeast powder in it and take these substances in a container and make the mouth of the test tube airtight. And then you can bend a glass tube to the cork and then set up. Okay, and you can see the same setup you can do. Here you can put lime water, here you can put yeast powder and sugar, and you can pass the delivery tube through the delivery tube. It will be connected here. So that I will explain. So first you can go through this experiment. So look children, the second activity is to study fermentation in sugar solution. So what you do, the procedure is you have to take some yeast powder, okay, and take two test tube, one test tube for putting the sugar solution or fruit juice along with the yeast powder, and another, this is another test tube in which is also known as the delivery tube test tube, where the carbon dioxide released by the yeast will be poured here. Now this is a bent tube, okay, through which the carbon dioxide produced by the yeast during fermentation will be delivered to the other test tube present here. Now here I have drawn a cork to make the arrangement airtight. Now here is the fruit juice along with yeast powder, or you can make some sugar solution. Now one thing you can add here, that is oil. Why we use oil here? In order to exclude oxygen, okay, to get better result of carbon dioxide in this delivery test tube. Now what you do, you just close the mouth of the test tube properly and make it airtight by Vaseline, and fix the bend test tube, bend U tube or a glass tube through the hole of the cork. okay, in this test tube, and you immerse the free end of the bent test tube to the other tube containing lime water. So you just immerse this bent tube, okay, so that the carbon dioxide passing from this test tube will deliver here. Okay, now you observe it after some time. What you will see, now after you take out this lime water, finally you will see that lime water will turn milky. Other than that, you can smell it and you find that it is smelling alcoholic. Okay, so lime water has turned milky and the solution gives a smell of alcohol. So what you can conclude? That yeast has used the sugar and produced the carbon dioxide. Now this carbon dioxide has traveled through the bent tube and dissolved in the lime water. And the fermentation of sugar or the fruit juice is done by the yeast powder or the yeast produced here. Okay, and they produce ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide. So this is the activity for anaerobic respiration or fermentation that you can also do. Next topic is respiration in plants. Now you see, respiration in plants is done by 3 ways. Plants respire through root hair, through lenticels and through leaves and young stem. Now here I have drawn the structure of the root hair. Okay. Now you can see here there are soil particles. In between the soil particle I have drawn some root. This is a root and the root has small root hair. Okay, you know root have root hair. So this root hair can trap the air space, this air space in between soil particle. This air can be taken by the root hair from these spaces, soil particle. So this is one of the mechanism of exchanging gases by plants. Next is by lenticels. Now what are lenticels? You know, in older plants, in the stem of the older plants or the older roots, there are some surfaces that are impermeable to gases because they do not have stomata. Now these older parts have some opening on their surface of the bark. These are called lenticels. Now the lenticels contain a mass of loosely arranged complementary cells, okay, that have intercellular spaces that take the air from the outside. So you have seen I have drawn here lenticels in between spaces of this is the young tissue, this is the older tissue on the bark. And last is through stomata. You very well know what is stomata. There are tiny holes present in the leaves in the undersurface that exchange gases. So stomata is guarded by the guard cell. 2 guard cells are guarded in the stomata. So these are the 3 ways of exchange of gases in. Next I want to discuss about the respiration in animals. Now other than the anaerobes, animals have various types of respiratory organs or methods for exchanging gases. Now first method is diffusion. Now diffusion can be seen in some unicellular organisms like amoeba or paramecium. Now this type of animals, they take oxygen or exchange gases through their body surface. Okay. Next comes cutaneous respiration. Cutaneous means skin. So in case of earthworm, the earthworm, they exchange gases from the environment through their moist skin. Even leech also undergo cutaneous respiration. Not only leech, even frogs, when they go in the water, okay, for external fertilization, they also respire through cutaneous respiration. Next comes branchial respiration. Branchial means respiration through gills. Crabs, prawns, okay, they have gills. They exchange gases. Even fish, you know. So fish, crabs, prawns, these animals, they are aquatic animals and they exchange the gases through gills. So the gills can separate the oxygen from water, okay, and make it available for the organism. So branchial respiration means those organisms that have gills. Next comes tracheal respiration. Tracheal means insect, the respiration in insect. Okay, so there are tiny holes on their body surface of the insects, you know, they are called spiracles. Now these spiracles are, they form a network, and this network is called trachea. You have learned this tracheal respiration in grasshopper in class 7. I hope you remember till now. Okay, next come pulmonary respiration. Pulmonary means lungs. So in terrestrial organisms like birds, okay, reptiles, mammals, they show pulmonary respiration. So here the gases are exchanged through lungs and carried to each and every cell of the body by body fluid. That is, body fluid is blood. Okay, now these are the respiration of various animals. Now I would like to tell you about some of the respiratory organs or special organs. You can note it down. I have not written here. You can note it down. The first is book lungs. This is for additional learning. You can just write down. Book lungs is the respiratory organs in scorpion and spider. Okay, you can read all this in class 11 if you take biology. So just for your extra knowledge, I am telling these names. So book lungs in spiders and scorpions. Okay, next come book gills. Book gills are found in king crab. King crab is also known as limulus. Next come pulmonary sac. These are found in pila. Pila means apple snail. Okay, snails. Next come lateral gill slit. It is found in few bony fish like cutla, labioreita. Okay, so this type of animals have this type of gill slits, lateral gill slits. Okay, so these are the extra specialized type of respiratory organs. Next, I am going to tell you about the activity to show to study the process of respiration in fish. Now you can do it in an aquarium. Suppose you have an aquarium in your home, you can just observe the fish. Okay, now you observe that it is regularly opening and closing its mouth. Okay, why it regularly open and close the mouth? Because to exchange the dissolved oxygen and carbon dioxide, okay, from the water to the gills to the body and from the body to the external water medium. So you can do this activity. So what you do, just observe an aquarium. In front of the aquarium you sit and count the number of opening and closing of the mouth of the fish. So you see that the number of count of the fish operculum will increase. So you just count it by per minute. Per minute you count the number of intake or opening of the operculum. So children, in the beginning of the video I told you that I will be discussing about respiration and transportation. But I see here it is a very lengthy topic. Respiration itself is a very lengthy topic, and as well as I have to discuss about the respiratory organ in human being as well as mechanism of breathing in non-human being. Okay, I have to describe clearly about the structure of lungs, the mechanism of breathing, that is the external respiration, internal respiration, okay, exhalation, inhalation. So all these things will take time, and even transport is also a very lengthy topic. So I hope you have understood the respiration part. The next video I will be discussing about the mechanism of breathing. It itself is a very big topic, and then I will discuss about transportation. So sorry for telling that I will discuss the two topics. It will be very easy for you to understand the videos in chunks, that means in small subtopics. So if I make an entire video of the life process, it will be very difficult for you to remember the entire content of the book, and even you can just go through each and every topic very minutely, refer to your NCERT book and reference book, okay, and even you can practice a lot. So go through the line by line of your NCERT book. All the activities related to the various life processes are very important, like fermentation, okay, and then I just discussed about many activities of photosynthesis. So these all activities are very important. So go through each and every activity and every content of the textbook. So today's video is up to here. Hello children, hope you understood the topic of transportation as well as respiration in plants and animals as well as aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So if you want to know further about the various topics of life processes in human being and plants, so you have to further watch my upcoming videos. I am going to deliver small topics of each metabolic process of the living organisms in the upcoming videos. So keep watching my video. If you like it, then share it with your friends and please subscribe my channel. So thanks for supporting me.